Hello, Rita here. Welcome to New Nail Tech Success, where I help you get started as a nail technician. How you guys doing, my YouTube homies? Hopefully you're doing as good as I am. So as you can tell from the title, today I'm going to be talking about nail art, specifically how to learn nail art from YouTube. I hope you guys didn't think that I was going to have a nail channel and not have nail art. That would be insane. Who does that? So let's just get right into the video. So let me just tell you, when I got my license in 2004, the nail school I went to did not teach nail art. If you haven't seen what my nail school experience was like, you can definitely check that video out by clicking that I in the circle. But anyway, no, school didn't teach nail art. And when I got my license, I went online looking to learn on my own. I bought videos that were horrible. Wasn't much information on the internet about it. YouTube was, I think it was just starting, but it wasn't to the level that it is now. You would have to go to classes back then in your area, if there were classes that were offered. There were no nail art classes offered here. I didn't have the money to go to nail art shows, hair and nail shows to learn new techniques. So I was disgusted. I said, well, at least let me just focus on what I can do. And what I can do is, get my acrylic application as good as I can. So that's what I focused on for years, off and on for years. And so I'm kind of glad that it went that way. My acrylic application isn't perfect, but it's to the point now where I can feel confident enough that I can go deep into learning nail art. Before it was like, yeah, I would dabble, but now I'm ready to go deep into nail art. There's a saying in the nail community, if you haven't heard it, you need to lay before you play. And that's basically saying that you need to know how to lay acrylic well before you start delving all into nail art. There are some nail techs, and I've heard them personally, and I'm not judging, but I'm just relaying what I know, who basically, skirt the idea of perfecting their acrylic application. It'll never be perfect, but getting it to the point that it could be better, because they figure they're just going to put nail art on top of it anyway, so what's the big deal? I personally believe that as nail techs, our nails should look just as beautiful plain as they do with nail art. So if your client wants to wear their nails plain, they can do that and not be embarrassed because you did not lay the acrylic as beautifully as you could. That's just my personal opinion. But does that mean that if you don't know how to apply acrylic, or you're working on your acrylic application, that you should wait before you get into nail art like I did? No, not at all. You could definitely work on both of them at the same time. Maybe a couple days you'll practice your acrylic application. Other days you'll work on learning nail art techniques. This is your thing, guys. You orchestrate it in a way that is comfortable for you to learn. I'm just a guy trying to share information that helped work for me. But ultimately, you decide how you're going to progress through learning at your own speed, at your own level, and what you're going to focus on. So anyway, now I'm ready to get into nail art. And all I can say is thank God for YouTube. YouTube is a blessing. It wasn't like it was back then where nail techs, would not share information. It basically was, you get your information the best way you can, because I had to learn it on my own, so you learn it on your own. And there are some nail techs that feel like that now. But there are a lot more, I feel, who are willing to share their talents with the rest of us so that we can learn and build the nail tech profession. So it's a blessing. So you can learn on YouTube to your heart's content. But at the same time, I will say that learning from YouTube is a challenge, because there's so much now to learn. There's so many techniques. Over here, you got 3D, you got ombre, you got, foils, you got gel, and it's just a plethora of techniques. And if you're just starting into nail art, like I really pretty much am a newbie with nail art. I know some techniques, but I'm not to the level that I want to be, But with that said, there are so many techniques that you can get overwhelmed. So what I want to do is just give you some tips that I'm going to use and I have used to learn nail art and to make it so that it's not so overwhelming and frustrating. Okay? So, number one, and my suggestion is to just focus on accent nails. What is an accent nail? An accent nail is the nails on your hand that have a design. So for instance, you may have maybe 8 of your nails in a one solid polished color, but then on 1 or 2 fingers on each hand maybe you have a design. That's the accent nail. Focus on just accent nails. Instead of trying to do designs on 5 or 6, 7 fingers like you may see a lot of nail techs do, but they're advanced. You know, you're starting from the beginning. You can definitely get there, but start with 1 accent nail. Okay, so if all else fails, if you do a client, you'll know, okay, I only have to do 2 accent nails. Maybe 1. Maybe one on each finger. Okay, that's more accomplishable than trying to come off right off the bat, trying to do 5 or 6 designs on a finger. Okay? Number 2, go into the YouTube search and type nail art designs for beginners, nail art for beginners, and look and see the designs that come up. And whatever moves you, whatever you like, go ahead and add it to a playlist. Make a playlist by clicking, if you're on your phone, click the plus sign and add that video to a playlist. Make a name for it, whatever you want to name it. If you're on a laptop, that add to is underneath the title of the video. I would say go ahead and do that for 10 designs. No more than 10, because we're trying to make this as simple as possible, guys. Do 10 designs that you feel that you will do, that you feel that you could do, and that's a good starting point for you to start with, and that you really like. You know, that's going to motivate you to actually do the designs. Number 3. When you are ready to practice, make sure that you have your supplies for the design that you're going to do. Choose a design, make sure you have the supplies for it. Okay? And then number 4, go ahead and practice that one design over and over and over again, over and over and over again, until you can do it without hesitation. Okay? That's it. And then number 5, once you have that accent nail down, go ahead and put it in your nail garden. Okay? This is just a $5 circle styrofoam I got from Packatans. And when you're done with the design that you know you can do on a client, if they came through the door that day, you stick it in your nail art garden. Okay? And this is just a tip on a toothpick. Okay? So I've started my nail art garden with some things that I've practiced. Right now I'm into my dotter. Don't know. Can you see that? I've practiced some dots. Did some dot designs I found that I liked. Tried them out. And I feel confident enough that I can do them. And my goal is just to fill this up with as many accent nail designs as I can put on this styrofoam. Okay, so those are my 5 tips, guys, to learning learning nail art from home, from YouTube. Simple, easy peasy. We're going to do this step by step. I'll share with you my progression on my designs that I do. So yeah, the fun begins. Nail art. If you have yet to subscribe to our family that we're growing, please go ahead and do so. Like if this video has been helpful, and comment if you have any questions or comments. Okay? Alright guys, until next time, take care.